What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Chaseontwowheels First Ride. Today, Mountain Motorsports in Roswell is our location, and our bike is a 2019 Ducati Hypermotard. This is not the SP model, this is the base model. If you guys aren't familiar, the Hypermotard just got updated for 2019, so we're going to be riding the base model today. I wanted to ride the SP, but the guys sold one 2 days ago that I was going to do a first ride on, so maybe if you guys like the video, maybe this could turn into an SP in a couple weeks. Who knows? But yeah, make sure to like the video so this guy can be an SP and be his true form. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for motorcycle content, because we do a lot of it. And without further ado, we're going to get this video started. We're going to look at this little butt. That's cute. We're going to get this video started. We're going to get some cinematics going. We've got a cool sponsor for this video, and I'm excited. We have a normal key this time. Our Super Duke last time didn't have a key, but you know.
So guys, this video is sponsored by SimpliSafe. They're basically the new way home security systems need to be run. It's incredibly effective, reliable home security that will make sure your home is safe. Your home is professionally monitored 24/7. If anything happens, they will make sure the police get called. They even work if you lose power or Wi-Fi, which is pretty awesome. Unlike old companies that make you sign multi-year contracts that they make you pay to get out of, SimpliSafe has no contracts and is very simple to set up. Ever since Heather and I moved into our new house, we've been wanting to get a security service, but after having to literally pay our old security company 60% of our contract to get out when it auto-renewed, we were a little hesitant to get another security company. That's why I was so excited to partner with SimpliSafe. You're able to buy the security sensors that you need for your home and customize it to how you like, and monitoring is only 50 cents a day. The systems all talk to this home base station that I think looks pretty cool. I've installed the sensors all over the house, and I made sure to put a motion sensor in the garage. I also grabbed a video doorbell, so the next time the FedEx guy thinks he can just throw my packages at my front door, I'll have video of it. Now that I've got all that installed, if anything happens here at the house, SimpliSafe will be monitoring it and be able to notify the police if someone decides to break into the house. If you guys are like me and your home and garage hold a lot of value to you, then head over to simplisafe.com/chase to check out all the features they offer to help protect not only what is in your home, but your cars, bikes, tools, or whatever you fill your garage with. I really appreciate you guys that actually go check out the sponsors in these videos. When you guys do that, it makes the sponsors happy, which allows me to work with them more, which in turn makes me able to make better videos for you guys. So massive shout out to any of you guys that go check them out. Alright, now with all that out of the way, let's jump on the bike and let's go for a ride.
Alrighty, is it just me, or does this bike seem super tiny? Could just be me. Alright, pretty typical little turn-on situation here. No fancy weirdness like the Super Duke had. If you guys that don't know, the last first ride I did was on a KTM 1290 Super Duke R. That's why I keep referring to that. Also, fun fact, the Hypermotard SP is Chase's old dream bike. That new dream bike is now the 1290, but I'm okay with the brand new Hypermotard maybe getting its position back. I'm actually surprised at how low this bike looks. Wow, looks low, definitely isn't. I promise you guys I'm gonna get my inseam figured out soon, but dude, I'm tippy-toe situation. Okay, did not expect that. All right, hazards off. So if we hold the mode button, we go into the setting and we get all the settings. So the engine is medium and touring, it's low on urban, and then sport we get high. I really appreciate them making it very easy to understand the mode situation. We're gonna start out in urban. God, I am so tall. Hopefully that'll translate to the bike running better or something like that. Holy snap, dude. This bike feels so small. Like, weirdly small. I have a WR250 and this bike feels small, so if that tells you anything. All right. So, 2019 Ducati Hypermotard, GoPro check. GoPro still going. Just the big thing right now is how small this bike is. I feel like I'm barely on anything right now. Pretty smooth engine braking. We got it's pretty mild currently. I want to get in front of that big truck thing. Maybe it's because of how forward I'm sitting and all the stuff is down here, and like, look where my head is. Everything is way down here. These mirrors are terrible. Let's fix those real quick. We are in urban mode, so I'm trying to remember. I don't want to judge the engine on urban mode, really. Wow, urban mode? Am getting cramp in leg. Ugh. So as far as body position on this bike, my legs feel a little crunched up. So I am sitting up taller on the bike. Dude, my right leg is cramping so bad. Ah! That's not good. Let me try sitting back. I'm basically sitting on the passenger seat now, and it is far more comfortable to sit on the passenger seat than it is that front rider's seat. Holy crap. You just feel really crunched up there, and my leg is still cramping. I will say, the bike is relatively controllable for a Hypermotard. You know, it's a Hypermotard. It's supposed to be the crazy hooligan of the bunch for Ducati. Alright, we're kind of, you guys know me. We're done in urban mode. We'll go into touring, which is going to change engine to medium. We got wheelie control at 5, ABS at 3, and traction control at 4. Well, see, this is cool. It gives me the mode on the tack. I do like this whole situation. I don't know if we can change it, but I feel like Ducati did a really good job. Like I told you guys earlier, I just came off of the 1290, and one of the main gripes I had with the 1290 is I hated the freaking dash. So the dash definitely looking better. It kind of reminds me of the V4. It might be the same dash as the V4. All right, so I'm sitting a little farther up. There's this little cup part in the seat that I'm in now. Feels like where I'm supposed to be, like I'm a little farther. Interesting. So low down, I can't really tell that much of a difference. Engine on the power. So low down, I kind of wish the bike bit harder. I can feel the torque coming on when I'm at low RPMs, but for a Hypermotard, I kind of expected the torque to come on a little sooner. Might be biased from that 1290 first ride. Bike's not slow. I don't want you guys thinking this bike is slow or underpowered or anything. It's more of how the power comes on. As far as body position goes, like I told you guys, I'm really high up on the bike. My arms are kind of low, and I feel like I'm really on top of the bike. If that is I feel like I'm very on top of this bike. Gives me a sense of in control. You know what I mean? Like I'm on top. Oh shit, is that me? Is that for me? I don't know what that is. Huh. Dude, I thought that cop was pulled over like to pull me over. That'd have sucked. The difference between touring and urban mode, not really feeling a lot. I will say, I've ridden a Hypermotard before. Back in the day, the Hypermotard was my dream bike. And after I did my first ride on the regular model, I haven't ridden the older SP, but I did ride the regular base model, and after riding that bike, I was really not a fan, to be honest. I love the way it looked. I still love the way it looks, but it wasn't a fun bike for me to ride. I can tell you guys already that I'm 100% having a better time on this Hypermotard as compared to that other one. I was sad, dude. I rode that bike because I was like, dude, I'm getting to ride my dream bike. Here we go, fam. Today's gonna be awesome. And then I ride it and I'm like, wow, that is a dream bike in the eyes only. So yeah, that was a bit of a letdown. So I am very happy to see that I am enjoying this bike a little more. Feels more rideable, you know, like ooh, I can feel that ABS kicking in. Hello. Check this thing out. Old freaking Corvette. Killing the game. I'm really digging how it seems like motorcycle manufacturers, this is what I hope they're doing at least, they're taking these engines that are just putting out monster power, and they're making these motorcycles, they're taming them down. Like, we've hit a peak of how much engine we need in these things. So now these manufacturers seem to be spending time on, like, how can we make these bikes better on the street? Because, dude, I can already tell I would enjoy riding this thing around all the time. Well, hey, the brakes aren't bad. The brakes don't have too much bite up front, though. I kind of wish the brakes were a little more, you know, had more oomph into them, especially coming into traffic like I just did. But I think this bike should have Brimpos, right? Oh well. Let's get it, let's see if we can change modes while going. So we're giving it throttle, pop it up into sport. There we go, we're in sport mode now, so we got the full engine, boys. So the sport mode in this bike is really where it starts opening up. I didn't feel that much difference in between urban and touring, but you put it into sport and it starts to make sense now. I feel like if I owned this bike, I would probably fluctuate between touring and sport. I don't really see myself using the urban mode. I do gotta say though, I'm really not here for where the power comes on in this bike. I want to have a little more torque down low. So guys, as you can tell, we don't have a lot of wind protection on this bike, so the highway is probably gonna suck. I imagine I've got enough engine to have a good time, but I feel like the wind's gonna be a little rough on this one. I do get this weird feeling when I lean this bike over, and I'm not leaning it over hard or anything, but oh, there's a cop over there. Oh, we're gonna be careful today, boys. So leaning this bike over, I don't really get that kind of I love my life feeling. What do we got back there? Oh, there's a cop literally under that bridge, so we're gonna be very selective. We'll do a quick little skirt. I mean, that's not bad. That's hauling butt. I don't know, the power of this bike just feels in a weird spot. The good news is you got plenty of power for the highway. We're going 80 and 5th, and if I needed passing potential, you know, I've got plenty of it. I am slightly paranoid about the cops today. But yeah, as far as the engine, you got plenty to go on the highway. You're gonna get a ton of wind though. Let's drop it in 6 and kind of just chill. Yeah, the wind's pretty rough. If you guys are looking for this bike and you're gonna be doing a lot of highway, it's not gonna be a fun time, and there's really nothing to tuck into. Can't do much down here. So as far as a bike that would be good as an all-arounder, I don't know if I could recommend this. It's got the power for the highway, but there's just no protection from the wind, and you gotta have at least some, right? Before having this much wind though, the bike does feel pretty stable on the highway. I gotta say that, a little surprised to see that. It'll play around in the 3 digits with no problem, but this bike just really doesn't seem optimal if you want to do a lot of highway riding. So you guys need to keep that in mind. Man, I'll tell you one thing, you feel every gust on this bike. I'm essentially a giant flag right now, just this giant sack of meat sitting on top of this really pretty looking motorcycle. So is that where all these cars are turning? Oh snap, we're gonna get to have a good time. So we got our big turn coming up. Typically we don't get to have too good of a time because there's always cars in front of us. So I'll get to appreciate leaning this bike over because I just talked crap about it, so that makes total sense. All right, coming in. You know, I'm I mean, it's not bad. I'm not having like, it's not fun to lean over, but I don't know. I think maybe I had higher expectations out of this bike than I should have. I expected to be leaning this bike over. Ooh, brake check. Whoa, where did those brakes come from? Holy ball sack. I don't know if the video will show it, but holy shit, it was like barely braking, a shit ton of braking. I don't want that on a motorcycle. Oh my goodness. Front wheel up on power. That was moderate throttle and the front wheel came up in sport mode, so that's fun. Yeah, that braking, you know, it wasn't like crazy, like I'm coming into a turn super hot braking. It was just like progressively pulling the lever in, and these brakes just like, they didn't lock up or anything, but they came on super strong out of nowhere. Dude, that would be so terrifying if I was in the mountains or something and I did come in hot. I don't like that at all. I'm not a fan. Even if those are Brimbos, I don't even care, dude. If I'm braking, I need that shit to be smooth. Going back to the sport mode conversation, this bike is aggressive if you're in sport mode. So you guys that are getting this bike, just be careful. It's that kind of classic Ducati feeling where the bike doesn't feel right if you're not giving it throttle in sport mode. So I'm feeling like the majority of the time I want to be riding this bike, I'm going to be in touring mode, because everything just kind of gets a smooth curve as compared to sport. That difference is insane, y'all. I guess that's kind of a good thing. If you want the sport mode and you want it to feel super aggressive like you would kind of expect out of a Hypermotard, then you got sport mode and that's exactly what you're looking for. But if you want something you can actually ride around town, touring mode's where it's at. I feel like it still gives you enough power to really rip some stuff, but it doesn't like do it super aggressively where it's got hard edges and stuff. I like touring mode. I like touring mode a lot. Sport mode's a little much for me. I will say the throttle feels good. I really like these Ducati grips. I like Ducati grips so much actually that we're working on our Panigale over on Wreck Bike Rebuild, the show we do, and we actually ordered stock grips because those things are sticky as hell. And diving it in. Where you going, big guy? Where are you going? Yeah, I'm not sold on the body position, man. It's a little too high, I feel. I don't feel like I have quite as much control as I want to have of this motorcycle, and I'm assuming that's body position. All right, we're gonna go around you. It's almost like I don't feel planted with this motorcycle. You know, with the upgrade to the SP, you do get Öhlins suspension, and I'm wondering if that suspension change gives you that planted feeling, because that's really what I'm wanting on this bike. I want to feel more planted, and I want to have lower down torque. Now obviously the SP model has basically the same engine, so I don't think you're going to get more torque, but look at that, the torque doesn't come on until like 5 grand. That's so high for this bike. I don't know, man. I want more low down torque than this for a Hypermotard. It is important to note this bike does have a 6-axis IMU. So you're going to be able to dial in all the stuff. This bike's going to know exactly where it is in space and time, which is cool. You get the little slide control stuff and all. I don't know how to do all that, and I'm not even close to a good enough rider to be able to take advantage of that, but it is cool to know this bike has an IMU. helps out with ABS, traction control, and stuff like that. And I'm here for the kind of safety features on bikes to make them, to help us riders ride them easierly. Woo. You know what, just for shits and giggles, let's do sport mode so that way I can be slightly stupider. Yeah, the front is just shaky. I'm trying to figure out what it is that's making this bike not feel right now. If you guys have watched enough first rides, you know that I don't really talk about suspension that often, but I honestly feel like this is the first time that I've ridden a bike where I'm just like, I really don't like the suspension. It just, like, when I go into a turn, like, I feel like the whole bike's just like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, who's going to spend $11,000 and the bike not feel great? You know what I mean? And the SP model is only like $3 grand more. You get better suspension, you get all your carbon fiber bits and bobs, you get an upgraded exhaust, which is going to give you a little more power out of the bike. Kind of feeling like the Hypermotard base model just... it's not the bee's knees. It's not even the bee's feet, if I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep riding it. I'm gonna keep trying to like it. Maybe the bike's not broken in. We've only got 16 miles on the odometer. Maybe that's why. You know, who knows? I will say the foot controls, you know, the rear brake and the shifter, those feel like they're in really good positions for the body position that I'm in. I really like where those are at. It's funny to be in sport mode and just put her around town because the bike just does not operate correctly. It's like shaky, makes me feel like the first Panigale I ever rode. Yeah, that's what sport mode gets you. Second gear, 4,000, throw you around a little bit, unrefined. I imagine the type of person that's, God, it is abrupt. The type of person that's going to be buying this motorcycle, I imagine is going to ride it in sport mode, but just because that just seems to be the type of person that would want a bike like this. Alright guys, so we're going to pull over, not scare the kids, and take a look at this bike. Alright, let's get this thing on the side stand and take a look at it, because as we all know, it is a Ducati, and if Ducatis do one thing well, that's look good. It is Brembo brakes. I don't like those brakes. So one of the cool things about the Hyper that just changed for this year are these little LED running lights. I think they look great. I thought the old one looked great, but this one looks extra great. I am a fan, dude. I love the trellis frame. I love the openness of the engine. You got your single-sided swing arm. Look at the exhaust. For the first time in a while, we don't get to say this often, the exhaust doesn't look terrible. I will say, you guys can upgrade this bike with a Termi exhaust. It'll do a single pipe, and it looks phenomenal. But I've always liked the underseat exhaust. Is that on? Not really a big fan of this gap situation, but whatever. Really, there's not a lot of this bike I would change. Assuming I had the SP model, I would put a fender eliminator kit on there, but other than that, I would kind of leave it like that. I would have nothing to change, but I do like that white you get on the SP model. It's a good looking bike, man. I don't know, I'm just not here for the ride. So, since we got this cool bike sitting here and we have this white car randomly driving around, I'm going to take a photo on my phone, post it on Instagram. If you guys want to see this photo, you can go check me out on Instagram, C2W Pics. You can see all my pretty photos that I post there. Look at it. Look at it with that HD, and boom. If you guys want to see fancier photos, or maybe if you really like this bike, you want some high-def photos, I post some high-def stuff over on my website, Chaseontwowheels.com. I post some photos, do a little grid situation, and you can download those photos if you like it a lot. And I also rate the bike over there, so you guys can go check out that. There'll be a link for it in the description, but I think that's all I got. I really like the way it looks. Not a huge fan of how it's riding thus far. All right, 2019 Hypermotard. Let's finish the thing up. I do like the grunty exhaust. I will say that. I'll give the bike that. This person's definitely learning to drive. I am 100% certain. we're gonna go on past. We're in sport mode still, right? Sweet. So it will, and it does have the potential to eat my face. Oh, no cars. I will definitely need to proceed quickly. Oh, goodness. Oh, man. I wish the power kicked on earlier, but the fact that you can put this bike in sport mode and just moderately throttle and the front wheel comes up relatively easily, it's very nice. Very nice. I like it a lot. Alright guys, so 2019 Ducati Hypermotard, not SP. Long story short of the bike, seating position's really high, gives you a lot of control over the bike, or at least you feel like you're in control. I'm not a huge fan of leaning the bike over and stuff like that. It doesn't feel bad, but I don't feel real confidence inspiring with the suspension that I'm grounded. And that kind of, you know, if you don't feel grounded and feel solid into a turn, you kind of don't want to push it really hard. Foot controls are in really good position. I wish it had more torque down low. But once the power band does hit, the bike feels adequately powered. The bike feels like it should once it gets to the power band, but I think I came into this wanting a little more low down torque that I'm just not getting right now. Looks wise, I think the bike looks great. I think the SP model looks 10,000 times better, but you know, personal opinions. The wind on the highway is terrible. The wind around town isn't really a thing. Dipping it back and forth seems very light, seems very easy to maneuver. Handled pretty good on the highway other than that terrible wind that we got. And overall, it's you know, it's okay. That's kind of where I'm at with this bike. It's definitely not a bad motorcycle. You know, I've ridden terrible motorcycles. This is definitely not one of them. But for the price, this bike is not cheap. I think it's like 11 grand. That's a lot of money to pay for a bike, and I just feel like there's much better bikes you can get for that price that can perform better than this bike. That's, you know, that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like the SP model with the upgraded suspension would do a ton. If I felt more planted into a turn, I feel like I could really get on it more. And I feel like that's maybe where this bike needs. It needs you to like get in it, you know, and like really embrace your little Hypermotard inside of you. So who do I think this bike is for? Sheesh. You're, for this one specifically, not the SP model. I honestly feel like you're gonna be like hooning around town and you really like Ducati. You know, if you really like Ducati and you're wanting some type of naked, honestly, I would wait for the V4 Street Fighter. Let me do a first ride on that and I'll tell you what you should do. But for now, this is kind of your best Ducati naked. I mean, I guess you got the Monster, but I know these bikes are similar, but I don't really compare those two. They feel pretty different. I don't know. I wouldn't ride this to the mountains. I wouldn't want to ride this to the mountains. You know, it's just a hoon around town bike, and for that, bike's a little expensive. So that's kind of where I'm at, guys. If you got to this point in the video, it is a huge help to me to like the video if you guys liked it. And share the video with somebody that is maybe a fan of the Hypermotard or looking into it. If you guys like motorcycle content, make sure to subscribe here to the Chaseontwowheels YouTube channel. I do a ton of motorcycle content, so if you guys are into the motorcycle space, you'll probably enjoy a lot of the stuff we put out here. Guys, before I end this video, I do got to give a big shout out to my boys over at Mountain Motorsports. They are the dealer that lets me walk in or spin a globe and just pick a motorcycle and let me go do a first ride on it. And that way I can let you guys know what these bikes are like riding for the first time. And yeah, if it wasn't for them, wouldn't be able to make these videos. So if you guys are in the North Georgia area, make sure to stop by a local Mountain Motorsports. They've got like 6 or 7 locations up here. So odds are there's one probably close to you. And that's all I got, guys. That's all the promo. That's all the first ride. That's everything. Outro crew, you beautiful, beautiful people that are still watching to the end of this video. SP model? Should I ride the SP? Could the SP make up for what this bike is lacking? Find out more if we ever do a first ride on the Hypermotard SP. And that's all I got, guys. You know, you guys get a super special high five from me to making it to the end of the videos. You guys are freaking awesome. And I'll see you guys on the next one, where hopefully it's, you know, not a lackluster Ducati, which is a rare thing to say. I've only ridden a couple. All right, guys, later.